These are the kind of manhwa you start reading for a few chapters, and suddenly you finish the entire series. Every story on this list is fully completed, making them perfect for a binge read. Let's dive in. At number 10, we have Tomb Raider King. The story begins with Seo Ju-haeon trapped inside a deadly tomb after being betrayed and abandoned by the people he worked for. After spending years risking his life to recover powerful relics, he's treated as disposable the moment he becomes useless. But right before dying, Ju-haeon suddenly gets sent 15 years into the past before the relic era ever began. In this world, mysterious gods' tombs will soon appear across the globe, containing legendary items capable of granting terrifying supernatural powers. Unlike everyone else, Ju-haeon already knows the future. He remembers every hidden tomb, powerful relic, deadly trap, and betrayal waiting ahead. Instead of trying to become a hero, he decides to steal every valuable relic for himself before anyone else can reach them. What makes this manhwa so entertaining is the MC's personality. Ju-haeon is greedy, ruthless, manipulative, and constantly humiliates enemies who underestimate him. At 412 chapters long, this earns 7.8 Monarch points for its addictive progression and satisfying revenge story. At number 9, we have Barbarian Quest. The story follows Yurik, a young warrior from a barbarian tribe who has spent his entire life believing that the Sky Mountains mark the edge of the world. But after discovering that an entirely different civilization exists beyond them, his curiosity pushes him to leave everything behind and explore the unknown. As Yurik travels across kingdoms, battlefields, and foreign lands, he encounters warriors, rulers, priests, and philosophers who challenge everything he thought he knew about life. What makes Barbarian Quest so special is that it isn't just another fantasy adventure. Beneath the action lies a story about self-discovery, human nature, faith, freedom, and the search for meaning. The writing is exceptional, the characters feel real, and every arc leaves a lasting impact. With only 100 chapters, I'm giving Barbarian Quest 7.9 Monarch points. At number 8, we have Questism. The story follows Soo-yeon Kim, a weak and constantly bullied student whose life changes when a mysterious quest window appears in front of him, just like in the RPG games he loves playing. At first, the quests are simple, but every completed mission rewards him with new abilities, stat boosts, and opportunities to become stronger. As he completes more quests, he slowly transforms from a helpless victim into someone capable of standing at the very top. What makes Questism so entertaining is its addictive progression system. Watching Soo-yeon level up, unlock new abilities, and climb higher with every arc feels like watching a game character evolve in real time. With 174 chapters, this one earns 8 Monarch points for being ridiculously easy to binge. And from this point onward, the list gets really difficult, because every series remaining is something I'd happily recommend. At number 7, we have On My Way to Meet Mom. One day, a young boy named Mori is discovered living alone in an abandoned house and is taken to a children's protection center. Everything changes when Mori learns that every child has a mother. After watching his closest friend reunite with hers, he becomes determined to find his own. What follows is a beautiful adventure, filled with new friendships, unforgettable encounters, and emotional moments that hit surprisingly hard. The artwork is gorgeous, the world building feels magical, and Mori is one of the most lovable protagonists you'll ever meet. With just 46 chapters, I'm giving it 8.4 Monarch points. At number 6, we have A Returner's Magic Should Be Special. The story follows Desire Arman, one of the last survivors of humanity after the world is devastated by the Shadow Labyrinth. After losing countless friends and witnessing the end of mankind, Desire believes everything is over. But instead of dying, he suddenly finds himself sent 13 years into the past, back to his days as a student. With knowledge of future disasters, deadly enemies, and the mistakes that led humanity to ruin, Desire is determined to change fate. He begins preparing early, gathering powerful allies, and helping them grow stronger before the coming catastrophe arrives. What makes this manhwa so enjoyable is that Desire is not an overwhelmingly powerful protagonist. Rather than relying on raw strength, he wins through intelligence, planning, and teamwork. The magic system is well developed, the cast is memorable, and the story stays engaging from beginning to end. At 269 chapters long, it earns 8.5 Monarch points. At number 5, we have Legend of the Northern Blade. The story takes place after the fall of the Northern Heavenly Sect, a legendary organization betrayed by the very people it once protected. Once respected across the martial world, the sect is destroyed through deception and political manipulation. The story follows Jin Muwan, the son of the fallen sect leader. After his father's death, he is left alone in the ruins of his home, watched by enemies who believe he poses no threat. But while the world forgets about him, Muwan spends years secretly mastering the martial arts and techniques his father left behind. When the time finally comes, he steps back into the martial world stronger than anyone expected. As corruption spreads and hidden forces move in the shadows, Muwan begins a journey filled with revenge, growth, and unforgettable battles. The artwork is stunning, the action feels cinematic, and every fight carries real weight. At 269 chapters, this one earns 8.8 Monarch points. At number 4, we have The Boxer. The story follows Yu, a mysterious teenager with an unbelievable natural talent for boxing. Possessing lightning-fast reflexes, incredible instincts, and an almost inhuman ability to read his opponents, Yu quickly rises through the ranks of the boxing world. But what makes The Boxer special is that it is far more than a story about winning matches or becoming a champion. Every opponent you faces has their own dreams, struggles, fears, and motivations. The series takes time to explore each fighter's journey, making every match feel meaningful and emotionally impactful. Rather than focusing solely on action, the story dives deep into the psychology of its characters and the reasons they continue fighting despite overwhelming obstacles. The character writing is phenomenal, the emotional moments hit incredibly hard, and the story explores powerful themes such as loneliness, suffering, purpose, and the search for happiness. Combined with unique artwork and unforgettable storytelling, The Boxer delivers one of the most emotional experiences in all of Manhwa. With 123 chapters, The Boxer earns 8.8 Monarch points. At number 3, we have Leviathan. The story takes place in a world where endless rainfall has submerged the entire planet beneath a vast and unforgiving ocean. Civilization has collapsed, most of humanity has disappeared, and the few survivors are forced to live on ships, floating settlements, and the remnants of the old world. The story follows Boda and his sister Rita as they struggle to survive in this dangerous new reality. Every day is a battle against starvation, hostile survivors, and terrifying sea monsters known as Leviathans. These massive creatures dominate the oceans and can destroy entire ships in moments, making every journey a life or death gamble. What makes Leviathan so special is its incredible setting. The flooded world feels unique and immersive, creating an atmosphere unlike any other manhwa. The tension never truly disappears, and the constant sense of danger keeps every chapter exciting. The artwork is fantastic, the action scenes are intense, and the survival elements make readers genuinely worry about the characters. With strong world-building, memorable characters, and non-stop suspense, Leviathan stands out as one of the best post-apocalyptic manhwa ever created. With 220 chapters, I'm giving Leviathan 8.8 Monarch points. At number 2, we have Viral Hit. The story follows Yu Hoban, a poor and bullied student who struggles through school while trying to support his family. With no confidence, no fighting skills, and almost no money, Hoban feels like someone the world has already written off. Everything changes when an accidental video suddenly goes viral, bringing him money, subscribers, and attention he has never experienced before. Determined to keep growing his channel, he discovers a mysterious source that teaches him how to fight. What makes Viral Hit so addictive is watching Hoban's growth. Every improvement feels earned because he has to work for every bit of progress. He studies, trains, gets beaten down, and slowly learns how to stand up for himself. The fights are exciting, the comedy lands surprisingly well, and the character development keeps you invested throughout. With 218 chapters, Viral Hit delivers one of the most satisfying underdog journeys in manhwa, and earns 8.9 Monarch points. At number 1, we have The Greatest Estate Developer. The story follows Suho Kim, a civil engineering student who suddenly wakes up inside a fantasy novel as Lloyd Frontera, a lazy noble whose family is drowning in debt. Knowing the terrible future waiting for him, Lloyd decides to use his engineering knowledge to change his fate. Instead of becoming a powerful swordsman or mage, he solves problems by building roads, bridges, dams, and entire cities. What makes this manhwa so special is its comedy. Lloyd's insane facial expressions, shameless personality, and hilarious interactions with Javier make almost every chapter entertaining. At the same time, the story delivers emotional moments, fantastic character development, and an ending that actually sticks the landing. Very few manhwa can make you laugh, get emotional, and stay invested for over 200 chapters without losing quality. The Greatest Estate Developer somehow manages to do all three. With 222 chapters, this earns 9.1 Monarch points and takes the number 1 spot on today's list.